Every great creative work stands on the shoulders of giants. Welcome to RetroInspection, where we examine and find out where the things we love today came from.
So ultimately, uh, we the governor arrives. Um, Zorro's this big menace,
Yeah.
um, and the governor jails the Politos.
Yeah.
So he puts the Politos. Basically, it's described uh, that these highborn aristocratic family members are thrust into a jail with
Yeah.
the peons,
Well,
the
he frames
worst of the worst.
harboring Zorro. Yeah. So he just puts him in there with all the town drunks that have gotten locked up.
and,
As
and
means
is it probably really that bad, Nick?
of humiliating them, huh?
Is it really that bad?
I don't know. I've never been in the drunk tank,
Well,
astonishingly.
look, they're not in the stocks.
No,
They're not being whipped.
no.
So it's
Which
it's just one of those things
does the drunk
where
tank sound like a fun place?
right,
Does
exactly.
an 1850s plumbingless drunk tank sound like a good time?
I don't know.
Right.
Uh, um, but you know, it listen, the this is a romantic novel based on that
Yes.
time. So Macaulay is going to talk up as much as he can this kind of issue.
Yeah.
And it also, what it does is it makes what Zorro does next even more surprising and more heroic. He confronts a group of men who would normally be after him at the behest of the governor, and he manages to convince them to become his posse.
Yeah. The other
And
sons of nobles.
that's right. And so he's created a group of people who normally would be happy to subjugate the Indians or the mestizos and the peons, and he's mobilized them against the power of the government. So it's quite an interesting concept, even for the day.
Because he frames it to them as a matter of honor. Like he somehow gets it over to them that, bullying these people is beneath them. However, defending these people would be the honorable thing to do. And astonishingly, they go for it. We've been talking about all that. We should note the Curse of Capistrano is not an historical document.
Right.
There's a lot. I mean, that's one of the, I don't know, controversies is a big word, but it's one of the things that people have talked about. The movies and the TV show and the book is that they're not super accurate and they tend to compress a lot of eras into one.
And a lot of
Eras.
geographic space.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think the governor comes from San Francisco.
Hmm.
Swept. If you drive it, that's 6 hours. On horseback, I don't know how long. How long do you think that took in 1850 in a wagon?
Oh, probably days and days.
Yeah, like a week.
Yeah, and in the book he has the Pueblo of Los Angeles being uh, actually uh, like 15 miles from actually a kind of like San Marcos, which is down in San Diego.
Yeah,
And so he listen, Macaulay was not trying to be accurate to anything. He created a fanciful world out of the Spanish colonialism,
yeah,
and he turned probably what was a pretty brutal time into something entertaining, but also he ennobled it by giving these Spanish, and this is my view, right? I know other people disagree, right? It not being historically accurate doesn't portray the oppression quite the way it should be, et cetera, et cetera. But McCulley gave Zorro, who, listen, at the time of the writing, there was still quite a bit of animosity between Mexicans and Americans, and he took a he took the culture and he made it both Mexican and American, and he created a hero for all the different ethnic groups that are involved in that time.
This is less than a decade after they sent Pershing and Patton down to chase Pancho Villa.
Exactly.
I mean,
so
Mexico is in the news in 1919, as is Spain for their flu.
Right, and McCulley could have easily decided to turn Zorro into a villain, or he could have created a character that was Anglo, that was the hero.
So I was going to say, he could have just made him an American going down there to straighten their shit out, and he didn't. So,
right.
Credit, I guess, that much credit.
Yeah, and look, what is he doing? Zorro is actually taking the idea that became revolutionary for Mexico, and he's actually perpetrating it many years before the revolution actually started in this fictional colony of Spain. So McCulley was actually kind of embracing that idea, the ideas that fueled the Mexican Revolution. So that controversy to me is not a controversy.
Like, subscribe, repost, share everywhere. To see what else we're up to, visit xynobooks.com, xenobooks.com.